So while DNA evidence exonerated these kids, while there were, basically, like post facto, as far as I know, exonerations from the police using aggressive and possibly illegal interrogation tactics in order to obtain the evidence that led to these convictions, there still are very real crimes. So like my frustration with this conversation is like we have to basically acknowledge that there's something fucked up that happened, that people have a right to be upset about it.
No, we don't. That is absolutely not true.
I don't have the right to be upset that a woman was.
You don't have a right
over
to
the head
use
for no
that
reason with a brick and then raped
upsetness.
repeatedly by a crowd.
Not at the people that didn't do it. No.
What if they were standing there, Destiny? What if they watched it?
Then you should have charged them with either aiding or watching or whatever.
But they didn't aid. They just watched.
Okay, but what were they charged with?
It doesn't fucking matter because that's not how criminal conviction.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, hold on.
Pretty easily.
Do you think? Hold on. No, I love going in on Destiny. This is super fun for me. So do you think that like cops catch most criminals?
Probably not generally.
Absolutely fucking not. We don't. Do you think that we even convict most criminals?
Probably. That would be my guess. Is probably not. It's probably hard to know how many criminals aren't convicted because the data is hard to get. But I guess probably not.
Right. So innocence to me, like as a police officer, which maybe this is a fucked up position, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Innocence to me means very little to me personally. I am personally innocent.
You said you were a cop?
Yeah.
Oh, that all makes sense now. Okay.
Dude, we've talked before.
Okay, I don't remember. Your view on... my aunt is NYPD, so she has similarly fucking horrible views on innocence in the United States. You are innocent in the eyes of the state. It is on the burden of the state to bring a case against you and prove that you committed a crime. Nobody else gets to make that decision of like, oh, well, I think they're guilty, just most criminals aren't convicted, blah, 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 blah. The reality is that these 5 boys were convicted of a crime. Later on, they were exonerated. They were paid $41 million to settle that suit. And Donald Trump, after their exoneration, took out 4 different full-page ads saying that he wanted them killed. Now, whether or not you think, well, don't we have a right to be mad that they were standing there? I guess if you want, but that is not at all related to what's going on here. That has nothing to do with the fact that they were wrongfully convicted, and after their exoneration, Trump, as a burgeoning real estate developer, still took out 4 full-page ads saying that they should have been killed afterwards.
Okay, so all right, so let me, so we don't have to leave anything in the air. Fuck Donald Trump and fuck his perspective and fuck his shit. And then also in reference to the judicial system, it's my same perspective as democracy, where our justice system is what is it? It's like what Winston Churchill said about democracy, where it's like democracy is the worst form of government except for all the other ones. That's how I feel about the American
system. America is beautiful. The burden is on the state for you to prove that you've committed a crime,
except for all the other ones.
Sure, but I think it is a bad perspective, especially somebody in law enforcement, to think that like, well, not everybody's convicted, so there are criminals out there that we just haven't convicted yet. No, if you haven't convicted them, if you don't get that conviction, which is the burden of the state to do, then they're innocent and they walk, and that's it. Like full stop. Like you don't get to try to second guess. Like, well, I think they're guilty. Blah 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 blah. Like the burden's on the state to prove the case. They couldn't. It was overturned by DNA evidence. So you walk from it. The idea that we can start to play like this post hoc, like executioner role of like, well, I think they really did it, like we're the Punisher or something, I think is a severely fucked perspective on how criminal justice ought to work in the United States.
I am not